So I got a question. Since we usually focus on movies, and we're talking about the Sonic movie trailer, which game do you think would be an excellent movie
It's the
or
easiest
TV
answer.
show?
Easiest answer because it's almost a cop out to say that any game story could become a TV show, because with TV shows compared to movies, you have the benefit of more time.
Yeah.
And you have the benefit of being able to stretch out your story and have breathing room with it. If we're just talking strictly films though, okay, and just to limit it to that, I still say Metal Gear Solid, because Metal Gear Solid, the way that story is structured and the way that it's delivered,
It gets a little wacky though.
because it gets wacky. But Hideo Kojima is a huge film buff. Like, he's a huge film guy. Like, he literally, his cutscenes, you could watch them as like mini films, or
Yeah.
like watch them as like 2-hour films. If they're eventually, they've been trying to do it for years, because I know Oscar Isaac was at one point attached to be Solid Snake or Naked Snake, because they were going to start from the Metal Gear Solid 3 time frame, go onward, because that's the earliest in the timeline. But as far as making that into a big blockbuster, that can work. It's, to me, is the most interesting, because we've seen others that have shown varying degrees of success. Mortal Kombat, a big one. Obviously, we just had Fallout.
What kind of you talking about?
Mortal Kombat as a franchise. Because
Okay.
remember, we had multiple Mortal Kombat movies, and then obviously we had the most recent one, which is getting a sequel,
Yeah.
which had different interpretations. But the idea of the franchise, the tournaments, the fatalities, the characters, the
writes itself,
personality,
yeah.
that stuff translates very well to the big screen. Very soon, which I think is going to be a success given how Amazon has handled things because of Fallout. Fallout was just an amazing TV show.
Yeah.
We're getting God of War. We're getting Ghost of Tsushima. We're going to get that, what is it, Secret
that-
Level.
Yeah, that anthology.
Yep, the Secret Level is going to be,
Made
that
by,
to me,
the
that'll be a
creators
pitch.
of Love. What is it?
Love, Death, and Robots.
Love, Death, and Robots. They're making their own, but it's just about video games.
And it's each short is a different franchise. So you have Pac-Man in there. You had God of War.
You got Concord in there,
You
too.
got Concord. You got Sifu in there, which is
Yeah.
wild to me. You have a bunch, but the point is that some of those things that I mentioned, I think will translate well to big screen.
But this anthology is also going to be animated.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's going to be animated by different people.
yeah,
Nice.
different. It's kind of like what Star Wars Visions was, where every single short was a different studio, same exact idea,
Yeah.
but just with big IPs from different franchises.
Oh, and oh my God, who was the not the showrunner, but who was the executive producer on Love, Death, and Robots? He's not on this.
David Fincher.
Yeah, he's not on this. It's just the production company
Oh,
that did it. So
Yeah, it looks cool.
I don't
Great
think
trailer.
David Fincher doesn't look like somebody who plays video games.
You'd be surprised. Like, I think it's smart for
Christopher
studios.
Nolan doesn't look like somebody, but he does play video games.
It's smart for these creative people in Hollywood to look into this, because it's a treasure trove, kind of like how comics was before the MCU, when they started getting into reading different comic books and seeing, hey, these characters, these stories could work well in movies. I think now gaming is starting to really find its footholds, because remember, we had years with bad video game movies because people just didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't believe me? Go look at Double Dragon. Go look at the original Street Fighter movie.
Whoa.
That was bad. Yes, it was.
Whoa.
Don't even get me started with
Alyssa
Super Mario
Milano did great.
We like
Alyssa Milano.
Alyssa
did
Milano's great, but that movie was not great. Like, it's just the unfortunate
I gotta
truth.
rewatch
Super
that.
Mario Brothers? No.
I love John
Nothing
Leguizamo.
wrong
I love
there.
all those guys over there, but come on now, like,
I want to see fucking Contra and I want to see Armored Core.
Contra
When
would
can
be-
I have that? When are those two things for me?
Contra would be very cool.
Contra and Armored Core, man. That's it.
Contra will be just the beginning of Predator 1.
It could be
That's
an
what I'm
80s homage. Like, the thing is, a lot of those games, Contra and many others, were based off of what they loved about the 80s, or at
Yeah.
least what those developers loved about. Because really, Contra is just Arnold and
Commandos.
Sylvester
Yeah.
Stallone together.
That's
Just
100%.
it's Rambo and the guy from Predator, the main character that Arnold plays.
Riggs?
Rig-
No, that's not
I
Riggs.
forgot his name.
What's his
The moment
name?
that-
His character in
his
the
character in the movie, yeah.
You son of a bitch. When he said his name.
He was a CIA guy.
Not Dylan, the other one.
Not Dylan. What was the other guy's name?
I can't remember his name.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's.
And they've said it. He's in the Predator game that was like the big online.
Let me
game.
guess. Duke?
Watch it be something like I just can't. I know
gonna
it,
be
and I just
fucking
can't think
Duke,
of it.
man.
But the point is, that's Arnold and Sylvester Stallone. That's basically Dutch. There you go. Dutch. But like,
if we would just rattled off names, we would have definitely got
right?
we would have definitely got to Dutch.
But that's my point. Like, that type of stuff, there's that influence there from films onto games, and now games could be an influence into film, which would be really good for a lot of those people that are looking for new ideas to make big bucks.
I think I would love to see a series based off of Bully.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I think if they went the route of like, oh, it's more than just a kid getting into trouble. Like, you make it eerie, dark, mysterious, like
Dramatic.
All these dark secrets about the school that he's unveiling, and just make it mysterious. I think it could work.
What wasn't there already a fucked up movie that had to do with like a private school?
There's a lot of
There's
those.
a lot.
Toy Soldiers.
Small
that
Soldiers
one?
was a dope movie.
Toy Soldiers.
Toy Soldiers, right? There was another one with Brendan
Toy
Fraser
Soldiers-
when he was in
No, but Toy
private school.
Soldiers was just it's a Colombian terrorist that takes
Yeah,
over the
took over
school,
school.
Oh, is
and
that
the kids
what it
fight
is?
back.
You know what's
It was
crazy?
basically Red Dawn,
Chuck E.
but in a
Cheese,
private school.
not Chucky, not Chuck E.
Chucky.
Cheese.
or Five
Chuck E.
Nights
Cheese.
at Freddy's.
Five Nights at Freddy's was a terrible movie. I'm sorry.
Wait,
That-
has anybody seen Borderlands the movie?
yes, I reviewed it.
Not yet.
It's bad.
I watched it illegally. It was on YouTube, like
Yeah,
last week.
somebody put the whole movie on Twitter.
Yeah.
I saw one time. I was like, wow.
A lot of people are doing that on TikTok.
Yeah,
They're just
they're
streaming
putting
it
multiple
live.
parts of it.
Yeah. Dude,
That's wild.
I've watched Twisters like 12 times on TikTok. Yeah,
Wow.
Still good?
yeah, man.
Twisters is fun. Twisters is better than Borderlands. I'll tell you that.
Everything is better than Borderlands. I watched that movie for free on YouTube, and the comment section just kept me going, man.
It roasted them.
Yeah, they were like, oof. They said, you know what? I would feel bad, but the fact that it's on YouTube, and I'm just gonna give this guy a like.
And that's an example of a film based on a game where the people behind it didn't know what they were doing. That's
Eli
the sad
Roth.
part. Well, the thing is, Eli Roth made a lot of creative liberties and changes with it, and also I think he heavily miscasted everybody because all those actors, Kate Blanchett,
Kevin Hart.
I'm trying to remember who played Tiny Tina. She's
forgot her
famous child actor. They're all great people. Jamie Lee Curtis is in there. Not bad actors at all, but the parts that they're playing, they're not believable. Because Kate Blanchett, I thought, was way too old to play that character from Borderlands. Because that character's supposed to be like late 20s, early 30s, and you got someone who's much older trying to pass off like that. It just doesn't work, even though she's a great actress.
I get why they casted her since I saw the whole movie. The reason is because at the end it was supposed to be like her mother died, sent her away, but something didn't happen. Something didn't quite pan out. She ended up being on that planet for quite some time, getting sent to another planet, and then coming back. So it's like, well, we got to put some age on her.
Yeah, but even so, in the
No, it
actual
was
source
still
material,
bad.
still
I just
too
got
old.
it.
She's younger. She's younger.
Yeah, I totally I'm like, oh, okay, so that's why they made her older. But why though? It's still like why? The casting
Because
was
the actress we wanted didn't want it, Patrick. That's why.
I
Probably.
have to admit, the best person in that whole movie was Craig.
Yeah.
He was the best person. He was the dude with the
mask.
Ice Cube was in
and
it?
He never and he never said anything.
Ice Cube was in it, dude?
No, it's what's his
He
dude?
said Craig.
Florin. No,
He's one of the
character name was
psychos that,
Craig.
that helps him out. Like that.
He by far I was like, yeah, you know what? He's all right. He's okay because he doesn't say everything that he says is like it's just random, just mumble jumble shit.
And the effects are good. And
Yeah.
Borderlands, like, give it credit. Like,
I don't know.
it looks colorful. There was
It looks
effort
like it was
there.
shot on a set. I was expecting something from like Mad Max.
Yeah, that's what everybody said.
location?
Said the exact same thing like that. But
Everything was shot
but
on
at
set.
least it looks colorful. At least how colorful the games are.
Yeah.
To that point.
I give him that. I'll definitely give him that.
But I think Eli Roth is suffering from that syndrome that M. Night Shyamalan has,
Oh, I thought you were
where
gonna say
in his mind he is the greatest
Zack
thing
Snyder.
to happen to
Don't wish that on
filmmaking.
him,
Zack
Kevin.
Snyder too.
Zack Snyder,
and
Eli Roth.
you could show him the movie and say, no man, this was bad. He's like, nah, you just don't get it. He just does that.
You'll get it later when the director's cut comes out.
Oh shit! I was gonna hit with that one. I agree.
Dude,
Yeah, I agree. If they turn out a fucking director's cut, these sons of bitches, man.
after watching that movie and then I saw his name on the credits, I was like, what happened to you, man?
You
know,
good?
I was like, bro, the Hostel movies. I remember I only seen one of them, but it was so
Those are wild
good,
movies.
Bro. I'm like, it was so good. What happened? What happened? Where did it all go wrong?
The money. Money.
He also did Cabin Fever.
That's
Cabin
right.
Fever,
Cabin Fever.
so
That was a
good.
really good movie. Yeah, really
Him
good.
and Zack Snyder, I just wanted to understand, like, what happened? You guys were like, for horror movie wise, was like, yeah, man, you guys are it, and then you're not anymore.
It's that
Just bad
blues
script.
song, man.
Yeah.
The thrill is gone, Patrick.
Probably. The hype
really
is gone. The hype's
Is
gone
it?
and also bad script. Bad script. I think bad scripting ruins movie. Look what happened to The Crow. Like The Crow in
I
concept,
haven't seen that one. but
it's bad.
is it bad?
It's real bad. Let me put it this way: the director was saying that they were taking stuff from the actual graphic novel, and they took one thing, and it wasn't even accurate to the graphic novel. It was that bad.
No, we said this in a previous podcast that the director admitted in an interview that the reason why they went for that look was they were trying to appeal to the kids of today because they gave him
Yeah.
the mohawk, the tattoos on the face. I think that would right there. As soon as I heard that, I was like, no.
Nope. Nope. There's a lot of
mistake.
problems with that movie. That movie, again, they're trying to retell the Eric Draven story, but like not tell it accurate to the actual book or to the graphic novel. And it's just like you go look at what they actually did in the graphic novel, you compare and stuff. There's just a lot more thought and a lot more like cerebral stuff going on in that graphic novel compared to this.
Was the one that came out in the '90s with Brandon Lee?
Yeah.
Is that more accurate to the comic book than this
Yes.
one?
There are characters in that movie that are in the graphic novel that don't appear in this new one. They literally change up a ton of stuff. The only thing they took from the graphic novel, besides like the fact that Brandon, I think it's what's his name, Skarsgård.
Yeah.
He has the makeup similar to how it is in the graphic novel, but without the white. Because Brandon Lee's version of the character, he had the white, very similar to that mask that they had in that movie.
Yeah.
But the only thing they took was this stuff with the horse or the unicorn. The very beginning, that's actually in the graphic novel, but it's not done in the same way, and it has a very different context with everything that goes on. It seems like somebody went over it like this and was like, okay, let's get that done. Okay, we're good.
This looks cool.
Yeah, like it was really bad.
I actually would appreciate it more if they would have just done a period novel, like a period piece, like have it in the 90s. Just redo it.
Or do a different
But
crow.
do like
There's other
a-
crows in the
That's
series.
what,
There's
yeah.
other characters that turn into the crow.
No, but so what I enjoyed about the original Crow movie was that it didn't feel like a 90s movie. It felt like that movie could take place at any time. That was the point, was that
It was
they
apocalyptic.
it's a skateboarding kid, right? You can have a skateboarding kid in any era. She's friends with this guy who is a musician. That could be any era. You know what I mean? Like the movie
I
doesn't
agree.
feel
That's
dated.
very.
It feels timeless.
Yeah, it feels
very
timeless.
timeless.
That's why.
And by the way,
you know.
the soundtrack of the original Crow, fantastic.
Yeah.
So many big bands back then that also were
totally.
part of that goth culture. Huge impact from that movie.
And
Massive.
this movie they didn't reach out to anybody.
Oh hell no! Like I don't know. Look, I don't
That's
mind, I don't
what
mind
the
Post
band is.
Malone,
There's so
but that
much.
music was horrible.
They
Like,
didn't get the guy
Post
from
Malone.
9 Inch Nails. They didn't
God,
get that
nope,
guy.
they ain't getting nobody.
They
They
got
got
Post
people,
Malone.
but like, look, there's nothing because that trail, that music.
Crow. That's not Crow
No,
shit.
but understand, like, I get what he was trying to go for, but that just was not it for the Crow. Like, when people think of the Crow, that's the first thing they think of is Brandon Lee's version.
Yeah.
It's like, you got to do better than that.
That's where I go
But
to.
let's. At the time when that movie came out, nobody really fucked with it. When the movie
It took
The Crow
time.
came out,
It took time, yeah.
But keep in mind,
I mean,
its
we were
big
young,
relevance. Its
like-
big relevance was when Brandon Lee passed. That
Lee
was
passed,
the
yeah.
big thing with it. Why it became such a big news thing.
because like if we for these actors who have passed before their movie released, like Brandon Lee or oh my God, what's his name? Who died as the
Heath
Joker?
Ledger.
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger, yeah.
Would their parts be as impactful if they were still alive? Would The Crow still be as good if Brandon Lee was alive?
It wouldn't have had as many eyes on it.
Yeah, I think it would still be a good movie, but yeah, maybe just less people would have seen it.
And what
Yeah.
about? Do you think that Heath Ledger would have won an Oscar
Yes.
for the Joker?
I
still
think
think
I don't think
he
he
did.
would have won the Oscar. They would have been talk about it because his performance is great because he finished the movie before he passed.
Yeah.
But I also think that him passing added on more pressure because of how relevant and how big it got because it was Nolan directing. It was obviously a different take on a superhero movie that wasn't just a superhero movie. There was just a lot of stuff all working at the same time. So I think maybe he would have gotten the talk, but I don't think that he would have won because the Oscars are notorious for being a little bit biased against big blockbuster films. That's just they're a little bit annoying like that.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. So
I don't know. I think Oppenheimer broke the mold with that.
Yeah, but Oppenheimer's not a superhero movie though. Oppenheimer is a
Not
period
a
piece.
not a superhero, but a huge blockbuster. The biggest blockbuster that
But
came
you
out.
know what? Also, too,
Yeah.
here's the other thing about the Oscars. The Oscars, for different people have reported over the decades, they love World War II movies, they love history period pieces, and they love character stories specifically. So with Oppenheimer, not only do you get something that leads into the atomic bomb like that, but you also have a character story which is heavily focused on Oppenheimer, and then obviously the acting and everything else works with it. So it ends up becoming a movie that the Oscars would be like, okay, this is like movies that we've seen in past years that we've kind of honored and stuff. There's not like, okay, this is a franchise IP that's behind it, why it's so big already for a lot of people with it. I mean, the same thing, they said the same thing about Barbie, because people wanted Barbie to at least get some Oscar. Even though I never thought it was that good of quality to make it like that, there was still talk about it, how it was because it was Barbie. It was a big franchise, it was an original story. That's why they never gave it its props for the design and stuff afterwards, which